Welcome to the show, Jaclyn.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you. Your LinkedIn profile stood up a lot to me, like, because I'm still learning about all this process about posting on LinkedIn, posting on YouTube, and you are the expert in the field. If you don't mind to tell the audience what you do, and then we'll continue with the show.
Yeah, so I run J Baker Media. I founded the company around 9 years ago, so it's been quite some time. I started when I was just shy of 22, and everything has been going, yeah, smooth sailing ever since. So basically, we specialize in all things digital marketing. So that means we do social media management, we do influence marketing, we do blogging, we do newsletters, all that good stuff. So our clients can be rest assured their online presence is well taken care of.
Wow, perfect, perfect. I'm sure this topic is on everybody's mind, especially those who are posting. So the first question I had for you, there are millions of people, and I was surprised the other day. I looked up how many people post on LinkedIn. That's a lot. Like actively
Hmm.
300 or 400 million people, and other social platforms. So they post every day. But what separates someone who builds a real personal brand from someone who is just simply posting content?
I feel like it definitely comes down to being authentic and not just relying solely on AI. Of course, you could implement AI here and there 100%, but you never want every single post to be, exactly copy pasting exactly what it tells you.
Hmm.
So that means you could share, personal stories. You could share like behind the scenes moments of your life, success stories from clients, testimonials, stuff along those lines, where AI obviously can't make up, a positive testimonial or a positive behind the scenes moment from your travels. So little things like that absolutely make a big difference, I would say.
And speaking of which, so there are many people focused on just getting the views and the likes, but how do you focus on creating the content that actually builds trust and turns it into the business opportunities down the line?
Covered this in a podcast episode not long ago, actually. And
Mm.
basically, I just kind of summarized, likes are wonderful and fantastic, and they make us happy, but they don't pay our bills. So if random people are liking your content, but there's no way they would be a customer,
Hmm.
because they're not interested in what you have to sell, because they don't, live in the area where you sell to. If you're a local business, it's not really going to help you much. You want to focus on content that really speaks to who you wanna be, purchasing from you.
Perfect, perfect. Uh, you just mentioned AI a little bit, so of course everybody's talking AI in all the industries, and had guests from law firm to medical fields to obviously data and governance and content creations. So it made it kind of make it easier to create the content, but how would creators who use AI effectively, um, and how to use it effectively without losing the authentic voice? Because it's so easy to get lost in, oh, ChatGPT said this, let's copy paste, as you just mentioned. But how do you stay like use that but still keep your own voice?
Yeah. What I do for myself is I give, ChatGPT a really clear vision and idea of, like, who I am. Like, I'll put my website URL into our chat. I'll tell them, like, what I don't like, my style, my tone. So that way when it makes content for me, it sounds like me, and it's not just making up,
Mm.
nonsense, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because also we have to be careful, right? Because AI could provide hallucinated information, like just making up stuff, just not to be posting something and not verifying, I guess, also as a human, right?
Yeah. 'Cause, like, not long ago, I wanted to do a post about how to get followers, so I
Hmm.
asked ChatGPT to give me some, recommendations just to, like, get things moving faster, and some of the tips it gave were great, and some of them were awful. So,
But how do you determine which one is great, which is awful? Do you ask another GPT or Claude or some other
it's just, like, because 'cause
content?
I've been doing this for so long, and I know, like, if a tip is outdated, like, perhaps a tip that ChatGPT gives you,
Hmm.
would have worked 3 or 4 years ago, but now it's not so much.
Yeah, but you're the expert. But what about
Yeah,
somebody
but
like
now I
me
know.
who is
Yeah.
new? How would I get it? Is
Yeah,
it?
like, I know, okay, like, this was great, 3, 4 years ago, but
Hmm.
nowadays, not so much.
Wow. So I had another question for you, if you don't mind. So as an
Mhm.
expert, right? If somebody's starting a LinkedIn or YouTube or some other social media platform with zero followers, and they want to grow and they want to become known for whatever the product they're covering or whatever interesting ideas they want to share with the world, what would be the first three things you would tell them to focus on?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things. I'll try to stick to 3. The
It
first
could be
thing I
more than
want you to
three. I just say, but it could
Yeah,
be more than
totally.
three.
Uh-huh. First thing I want you to keep in mind that it could take, a little bit longer than anticipated. I feel like a
Hmm.
lot of folks, open up YouTube accounts, LinkedIn, Instagram, etcetera, and they wanna have huge numbers, in, like, 1 to 3 months, which is a fine goal, but it's not always so realistic.
Hmm.
So it's not burning yourself out and just staying, on the path, I guess you could say, and not giving up, even if it takes, 6 to 12 months or longer. You really just have to keep going and get, the algorithm to trust you, the SEO, Google algorithm to trust you, your audience to trust you. So it's just a lot of little things to keep in mind.
Hmm.
And also experimenting is a really big thing. So you don't always know what will work and what won't unless you try it, even at least a few times in different ways. And then once you have a good amount of content that you've published, at least maybe like 10 or 15 posts, you could look back at them and see like, okay, tons of people really liked this style, but they did not like this style. So now I know what to post more regularly and what to stay away from.
Hmm.
So for example, some people have a lot better luck with long form content, and some people have better luck with short form content. So it's just kind of knowing, like what your audience really likes. And then also, I know some people might disagree with this, but I have seen a lot of success with it. It's investing in some sort of paid ad avenue. You don't have to spend, thousands and thousands of dollars to have really good success. Some of my clients, and even myself, will spend like $50 a month on social media ads, and they can be super, super helpful just so you kind of give your page a boost to be seen by people who may not have found you otherwise.
Hmm.
And it kind of just gets things, rolling in the right direction for as little as, $50 a month or so.
Interesting. And that works in LinkedIn also, right?
LinkedIn, you have to spend a bit more, just because that's the way their platform works. They don't have the best bang for your buck, in my opinion. And like the pay to click ratio, I guess you could call it. Ads on Google and Instagram and Facebook are a lot more reasonably priced.
But I had a question, like personal question. Right? So in TikTok, for example, they
Mhm.
encourage people to post 5, 10, or whatever times a day, doesn't matter. And one video could, from personal experience, I had one video a few years ago, nothing crazy. I just did one thing and went viral. So 13 million views. And for those 13 million views, I had 175,000 followers. Like it's crazy from one video, right? But this, I know, like in LinkedIn, on YouTube, it doesn't work like that.
Not
And
so much, no.
no, but somebody was telling me on LinkedIn, the best amount of times, I guess, to post, it's no more than once a day.
Mhm.
Is it true, or is it also like the more you post, the better is it, or is it for not good for algorithm in LinkedIn?
Not necessarily. Like for myself personally, I only post maybe like 5 times a week on LinkedIn ish, give
Hmm.
or take. And most of my clients post between, like I guess you could say 3 to 6 times a week. Most of my clients, depending on, like what their needs are.
Hmm. All right, that's good to know. So speaking of continuing with the social media and personal branding, how do you see them changing in the next 5 years? And will AI make it easier to stand out or harder? Because if everybody's using AI,
Yeah.
it's a similar
I
like.
can't even imagine. Even like 6 months from now, I honestly can't even imagine just because things are changing so fast.
Hmm.
Like what used to take me hours and hours to do, whether it be a graphic or a caption or a campaign or who knows what, I can
Hmm.
now do in, 15, 20 minutes with the help of AI. Like for example, let's say I make a graphic for a client and I send it their way, for some sort of advertisement, for a banner, what have you. And they come back and say, you know what, I love this banner, it's fantastic, but could you please make it like a bit more pink? Or could you please make this font a bit more like cursive or whatever?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Before AI, that would have taken me who knows how long, maybe 20 minutes to do it manually. But now I could put it into a tool and ask the tool to do it for me. And that could be done in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, true, true, very true. Uh, so still to stand out, would it be it would be probably
Oh, I
harder
didn't
to
even answer the
stand out.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
was like, how do we stand out? Because I want to stand out now, but in 5 years, if the AI could do these things, whatever would take, and I used to try to the uh, PDFs and try to combine the pictures or whatever. When you do that vision board, I remember compiling the pictures and trying to do things would take forever. Now it's so much faster. If 5 years from now, and everybody using the tool, would it be? How would we stand out in your opinion as an expert in this? Like,
Yeah, I feel like the best thing you could do from now to 5 years from now is just
hmm
kind of take it week by week,
hmm
um, and take advantage of things that work well for you. So to go back to what I said a few minutes back, if you notice that videos of yourself do 30% better than photos of yourself, then
mm,
focus on videos because you know that it's working and it'll help you stand out in a positive way, if that answers your question.
yeah, that's actually perfect. That's very good. Uh, so I had a final question, and then after that, I would like to also for you to share where people could go and find information about you and what you do. But the bonus question that we had for today, as an expert, right? If I'm sure you're looking at people's accounts on LinkedIn and YouTube all the time, and you could identify right away with your eyes, like, okay, you know what? If I'm looking at this for 30 seconds, and what is the first thing that tells me whether it will tell you whether they're building a strong personal brand or not so much. Like in the first glance, what would you look for?
The first thing I normally look at personally is their amount of followers, how many likes and comments they get, and their about section. That's definitely
Mm,
what I normally look at first. Because let's just say you have 20,000 followers, but only two people are leaving comments and likes. That's not really ideal, because it kind of
ah,
could be a potential signal, not guaranteed, but it potentially might be a sign that the followers aren't real,
mhm,
or they're just the wrong type of followers, meaning they're people who just may want to follow you but don't keep up with your content. Versus on the other hand, you could have 1,000 followers and each post could get like 30, 40, 50 likes. So it shows that you may have a small audience, but they're very much engaged with you.
mm,
So that's something to keep in mind. And then your about section also is super ideal. You wanted to kind of, tell a strong story and be really true and authentic to you and not just a one liner of, hey, my name is Jaclyn and I do marketing. You want it to be like a story.
mhm. Does does profile picture matter? Like, does it matter if
Yeah.
yeah?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. You want it to be clear, like good quality, preferably, like a nice background. So you're not like in your bedroom when it's like super messy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. Because that's what I feel like a lot of times people say, put a professional. Well, I don't know if people need to invest
Headshot.
in the
Yeah.
professional headshots, but just something very, very like clean, kind of like. All right, perfect. This is so much good information from you. So how would people who wanted to uh, expand the knowledge about LinkedIn or YouTube or how to get better at it, and then maybe with your help, how to get to the point where they want it to be? Where would people find you, and which platforms you have your information posted?
Yep, so you can visit my website which is just my first and last name, jaclynbaker.com. I'm also on LinkedIn and Instagram and my own podcast, Your Social Media Compass.
Oh,
I
perfect.
do onboarding free consultations,
hmm
30 minutes, so we could see if it would be a good fit. So no charge on that.
I gotta schedule one of those for myself.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining today. And I hope we're going to continue interacting on all this platform. And I'll look forward to learning from you more.
Of course, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline.